Hi everyone, I'm Dom Griffin, I'm a film critic and you're watching the Armchair Auteur. This is an ongoing video series I do where we talk about new movies, old movies, screenplay analysis, that sort of thing. So if you like movies and film culture and you like to see people pick it apart, please consider subscribing. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new film Palmer from Apple TV+, starring Justin Timberlake and directed by Fisher Stevens. The film stars Timberlake as Eddie Palmer, a former high school football star who did a 12-year bid in jail for attempted murder and has just been released. While reacclimating to society, Palmer finds work as a janitor at an elementary school and lives with his grandmother, Miss Vivian, played by June Squibb. While the movie touches on the experience of a felon rejoining society, the heart of the movie concerns the relationship Palmer forms with Sam, a little boy played by Ryder Allen who lives next door. If you know me or follow the channel at all, you can tell already that this is not the kind of movie that I would normally want to watch. Look, I am a pretty big Justin Timberlake fan, I like his music, but I do not personally care about his acting career. And although I do consider Fisher Stevens to be one of the finest living working character actors in the world, I'm not running out the door to see him direct a movie. So my actual reason for wanting to see this movie boils down to the fact that it is an original film from Apple TV+. Apple TV+, the streaming service, not to be confused with Apple TV, the digital media player and micro console, has been around since November 2019, but is yet to truly make a significant dent in the ongoing war for streaming platform supremacy. It's currently got a 3% market share behind NBC Universal's Peacock and AT&T's HBO Max, even though both of those services launched after it. Look, I'm no expert, but going into watching Palmer, I assumed the service was struggling because of its very bland content portfolio. Outside of copying the Charlie Brown rights and mystifyingly winning awards for The Morning Show, the closest the platform has felt to being relevant was the week Apple was rumored to buy No Time to Die from MGM, which obviously ended up not happening. My theory was just that Apple is playing it too safe and choosing to produce and acquire bland, family-friendly content that would be better at home on CBS than a streaming service run by the most prestige luxury tech brand. When I saw that they just dropped 25 mil on Sundance breakout film Coda, a slightly more indie take on the sort of thing they usually program, I wondered if this ship would ever be righted. So I have an iPhone and it came with one of those long-term trials of Apple TV+, and the only movie I've ever actually watched on the service was Greyhound, the Tom Hanks movie, which is fine. It was a solid if unspectacular film, and that phrase, solid if unspectacular, seemed easily transferable to everything on the platform. I decided to give Palmer a shot to see if it furthered this theory, assuming it would wind up indicative of why Apple TV Plus is lagging behind its peers. But it turns out, I was wrong. On paper, yes, Palmer is exactly the kind of low-hanging fruit affair I'd expect to find on the service. It looks and feels like a middle-of-the-road tearjerker that's not too costly and doesn't tangle with any difficult subject matter. Essentially, it's a better-looking, less cheap-feeling Hallmark drama. But while the film is a broad, straightforward drama that I would otherwise be very bored with, in execution, I found it to be a truly captivating and surprising little gem. The script from writer Cheryl Guerrero is super solid, a 2016 Blacklist choice, that does an incredible job of sliding in useful details in an otherwise run-of-the-mill narrative. In the first act, the slow drift from Palmer receiving nostalgic pleasantries to the persistent passive-aggressive apprehension folks always show to ex-cons becomes quietly heartbreaking, placing you within Palmer's perspective even as Timberlake himself lacks the ability to effectively display interiority. Timberlake is pretty good here nonetheless. Would the movie be better with someone else in the lead role? Yeah, probably, but I do think he brings something special here, particularly in the spark of chemistry he has with Allen as the precocious Sam, an adorable little boy who likes princesses and dolls and constantly gets shit from everyone in town. Allen is the real star here, but Timberlake holds his own. It's not as good as his turn in The Social Network, but it's miles ahead of something like, I don't know, Edison Force. I think the thing that got me about this movie is that its sort of obvious exterior lulled me into a sense of false security. When you watch a ton of movies all the time, anything remotely formulaic has a difficult time working on you because you just see everything coming and cannot connect on an emotional level. It becomes very difficult to penetrate that outer shell that you, as a critic, have formed up over years of watching and analyzing movies. But the first 20 minutes or so of this movie literally got through my jaded outer layer, and when the first major plot point hit, setting the rest of the narrative in motion, I genuinely didn't see it coming. Even though any reasonable person would, and from that moment onward, I was genuinely invested in the story of Palmer and Sam, a little boy abandoned by his mother and a grown man who had the same thing happen to him in his youth. I love that their arc together is believable and patient, and doesn't just 180 into this perfect little thing. It takes time, it feels real, and it's genuinely affecting. Not to mention some of the little touches Stevens gets in as a director, like some of the Rockwellian framing, for instance, or the ironic way he chooses to stage a favor from an old friend being repaid 12 years too late. I went into this movie, again, thinking that this would be the same type of movie that Apple TV Plus always puts out, and the reason why it's just lagging behind every other streaming competitor. But, wouldn't you know, it was a huge hit for them this past weekend. So what the fuck do I know, right? Maybe there's nothing wrong with carving out a niche as deceptively simple comfort food, especially since quietly entering your home and becoming indispensable is Apple's whole thing.
It's warm, and it's playful, and it needs to say hello.
Look, I strongly recommend this sweet little movie. I'm not a soup person. I don't like soup. I think soup is like a weird joke. I don't think it's a good food, but like this movie kind of felt like a good chicken noodle soup, you know, just warm and comforting and just there for you, you know? So if you do subscribe to Apple TV Plus, I suggest you watch Palmer. If you don't, maybe give it a chance, because maybe there's stuff on that platform that regular people will like, not weird jaded movie critics like myself. And maybe, you know, there's more stuff on the platform that is good like this that I've just been ignoring because I have unfortunate snob tendencies. So that's it. That's my take on the movie. Hope you guys check it out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the little bell icon so you get notifications when I put out new videos. And if you have any thoughts about Apple TV Plus, Apple, their war with Facebook, or I don't know, whatever you want to talk about, talk to me in the comments below. I'm always around, always looking for conversation. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you're being good to yourselves and each other, wearing your masks, being safe in the snow. If you got hit with snow, we did. I haven't gone outside, but yeah, there's snow out there. So thank you again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.